Are you making one of the 5 mistakes that kill most high-level agencies before they even get started? I've watched thousands of people sign up for this platform. Some of them build real businesses. Some of them quit inside a month. And after 6 years of using High-Level and helping thousands of others get started on it, I can tell you the difference usually isn't talent. It's not work ethic either. It's not even tech skills. It's that the people who fail make the same 5 mistakes over and over. I'm an affiliate, and I've used this platform every day for 6 years. By the end of the video, you'll know exactly how to avoid every one of these mistakes and what to do instead to start landing clients faster. So let's start with the one mistake that gets, well, pretty much everyone. Trying to learn everything at once. High-Level does a lot. CRM and funnels and email and SMS and scheduling and courses and communities and automations and websites and reputation management. And most people's first instinct is to try to understand all of it before they do anything. So they watch 47 tutorials, they take notes, they map out their perfect system, they join 3 Facebook groups and ask questions about features they don't even need yet. And 3 weeks later, they built nothing. I did this myself when I first started. I convinced myself I was being strategic and thorough. I wasn't. I was scared, and learning felt safer than doing. The solution here is to pick just one workflow and then ignore everything else. For most people, that's the lead follow-up sequence. A lead comes in, they get a text, they get an email, maybe a reminder to book a call. That's it. This is mine right here, Speed to Lead, and I'll tell you how to get it for free in just a minute. For now though, just to make this painfully clear, here's what I would actively ignore in your first 30 days. No websites, no courses, no communities, no advanced reporting, no fancy pipelines, no custom dashboards. If it doesn't directly help you capture a lead, follow up with them, or book a conversation, it's a distraction, and you have permission to completely ignore it. Get one thing working first, then expand. You don't need to master the whole platform to get results. You need to master one thing that makes you money. For example, when I first signed up for High-Level back over 6 years ago, the only thing I used it for back then was SMS marketing to respond to Facebook lead ads. And that one feature alone helped me generate over $100,000 a month. So that's mistake number 1. Here's the second one, and it's sneaky. It is building without an offer. This one's painful to watch. Someone signs up, imports a snapshot, builds a beautiful funnel. Colors are perfect, copy is polished, everything's totally dialed in. Then they realize they have no idea who they're selling to or what they're even selling. Here's the truth. High-Level is a tool. It's not a business. The platform can automate your follow-up, can build your funnels, can send your emails, but it can't decide what you're offering or who you're offering it to. That's your job. I've seen people spend 2 weeks building an onboarding sequence for clients they don't have, selling a service they haven't defined, to a market they haven't chosen. That's not preparation, that's avoidance. So here's what to do instead. Before you build anything, answer these 2 questions. Number 1, who is this for? Not small businesses, you gotta be specific. Think dentists, real estate agents, coaches, just pick one. Question 2, what's the outcome? Not marketing services, again, you gotta be specific. Let me give you a quick example of what I mean. A bad offer sounds like, I help small businesses with marketing automation. Means nothing. Nobody wakes up wanting marketing automation. A real offer, on the other hand, sounds like, I help local gyms turn Facebook leads into booked consultations within 10 minutes without hiring staff. Now I know who it's for, I know the outcome, and I know why High-Level even matters. Once you have that, the building makes sense. Mistake number 3 is the opposite problem, perfecting before launching. Some people build nothing because they're overwhelmed. Others build forever because they're perfectionists. They tweak the funnel, they rewrite the emails, they adjust the colors, they add another automation, they change the button text for the 4th time, and they never actually send traffic or talk to a prospect. No judgment here, by the way. I spent 3 weeks on my first landing page. 3 weeks, obsessing over headlines and testing different images and making sure that everything was just right. Meanwhile, you know what my best performing funnel looks like today? I built it in an afternoon, had a typo on it for like 6 months, still converted like crazy. Nobody cared about the typo. They care about the result. Perfectionism is procrastination in fancy clothes. It feels productive, but it's just fear wearing a mask. The mental hack here is to set a deadline. Something like, this goes live on Friday, ready or not. Fun fact, your first funnel may very well be ugly. Your first automation might just have a bug. Your first client will probably expose 10 things you didn't even think of, but that's fine. That's the process. Just ship it, learn, then you can repeat. The people who win aren't the ones with perfect systems. They're the ones who launched imperfect systems and then fixed them in motion. Okay, moving on. Mistake number 4 is about where people spend their time. I call this one hiding in the dashboard. Here's a pattern I see constantly. Someone signs up. They spend weeks setting up their CRM, tagging system, automation, sequences, pipeline stages, custom fields, everything organized and beautiful, color-coded, labeled, pristine. And they have 0 clients. The dashboard feels productive. It feels like you're doing work. You can spend 4 hours in there and feel like you've accomplished something, but it's not the work that gets you paid. You don't need a perfect CRM to land your first client. You don't need 17 pipeline stages. You don't need automations for scenarios that haven't even happened yet, probably never will. What you need is one conversation with someone who has a problem you can solve. So don't be afraid to time box your building. 2 hours of setup, 2 hours of outreach, non-negotiable. If you want a bare minimum setup that's actually enough, it's this. 1 pipeline, 1 trigger, 1 follow-up sequence, 1 calendar, 1 way for someone to raise their hand and show you that they're interested. That's it. Everything else is optional until money is coming in. The dashboard is where you organize your business. Conversations are where you build it. Don't confuse the two. I've seen people with messy, half-built systems and 50 paying clients. Also seen people with immaculate dashboards and 0 revenue. I know which one I'd rather be. I know which one actually has a business. Okay, last mistake, and this one might be the most expensive of all. It is going alone. High Level has a learning curve. It's not a secret. And most people try to figure it out completely on their own. They Google every question, they watch random YouTube tutorials with one person says this, another says that. They piece together different fragments from different sources, different strategies, different approaches. And what they end up with is this Frankenstein system, bits and pieces that don't quite fit together, and automation from one tutorial connected to a funnel from another, connected to a follow-up sequence that they made up themselves. Then when something doesn't work or just breaks completely, they've got no idea why, because they don't understand the system. They just copied pieces without understanding how they all connect. Here's what I've learned after over a decade of building marketing agencies and 6 years using this platform alone. The people who succeed fastest aren't the ones who figured it all out themselves. They're the ones who found someone who already solved the problem, and then they just did what they did. So find someone who's already where you want to be. Follow their system, not their advice on one thing and then someone else's advice on another, just one system, one approach, all the way through. That's why I give away my entire system when you start a trial through my link. Not just because I'm generous, but because I know it works. And because the biggest thing holding people back isn't the platform. It's not knowing what to do next. It's staring at a dashboard with 1,000 options and no clear path forward. Now, if you're being honest with yourself right now, you probably know exactly which one of these mistakes you're guilty of. Maybe it's trying to learn everything. Maybe it's building without an offer. Maybe it's hiding in the dashboard. Most people don't make all 5 mistakes at the same time, but they almost always make at least one consistently. And one mistake is enough to stall everything. So let me put this all together. If we zoom way out, all 5 mistakes share one thing. They're ways of avoiding the uncomfortable part. Learning everything? That avoids starting before you're ready. Perfecting endlessly? That avoids being judged. Hiding in the dashboard? That avoids rejection. Going alone? That avoids trusting someone else's path instead of creating your own. In other words, the platform isn't what holds people back. The resistance is. So fix the behavior and the platform suddenly feels simple. So what should you actually do instead? Well, here's what I would do if I was starting from scratch today. Week 1, pick a niche. One niche. Decide what outcome you're going to deliver, import a proven snapshot so you're not starting from blank, install 1 funnel and 1 follow-up sequence. That's it, nothing else. Week 2, start conversations. 10 people minimum. Not pitching, just talking, learning what they struggle with, seeing if what you built actually resonates, and then adjusting based on what you hear. Week 3, get a client. Even if it's discounted, even if it's a friend of a friend or a family member, even if you're not ready, even if you're getting paid way less, getting paid changes everything because now you're not practicing, you're actually in business. That's the path. It's not complicated, but it requires doing the uncomfortable things early instead of hiding from them. 6 months from now, you could have 5 clients paying $1,000 to $1,500 a month. That's 5 to 7K recurring, pretty much halfway to 10K. Build to 10K, then scale to 20K with the same system, same approach. You're not rich yet, but you're free. The system handles the follow-up, the system sends the reminders, you focus on getting results and finding new clients. For people who are serious about building to 10K a month or who are already there and looking to scale to 20K or 30K a month and beyond, this is the approach that works. Simple systems, one platform, and the willingness to start before you feel ready. If you want to skip the mistakes, use the link in the descriptions below the video to start your free trial. When you do, you're going to unlock my complete one-person agency operating system, including the snapshots, the scripts, and the exact path I just walked you through. The link's below. And now that you know what not to do, here's what to do first.